Hello and welcome to Tipsy VP episode 27 March 2020, a weekly show where we share tips and tricks on how to improve your social media. Tipsy VP is brought to you by Virtual Colors Marketing, the digital marketing agency that helps small businesses go digital. My name is Sean. It's going to be me this week without JK. JK is down on MCO, so we're trying to keep away from each other. This week's weekly Tipsy: 4 ways to advertise during the movement control order. We've been getting requests by clients to pause ads because they feel that ads on social media are getting very competitive during this movement control order period. But we think there are ways to take advantage of this period while keeping our ad costs low. The fact is, you see more ads on, let's say, food delivery on Facebook because you've been actively looking for food delivery on their platforms. It has nothing to do with the companies getting more aggressive, although they are, and increasing ad demand, although they are. So there are ways to go around this. Today, we list down 4 ways to advertise during the MCO without breaking a wallet. Number 1, when competition increases, narrow your niche. Advertisers are getting more and more aggressive during the MCO because they know our attention is heightened online. And this will generally cause a spike in ad costs, generally, but it doesn't have to be. The good thing about online ads is that you can narrow your audience size down to a few thousand people if you want. Instead of doing a company-wide ads campaign, go down to the products that you think people want to buy during the lockdown days and make sure you have a delivery system set up to accommodate that demand. So let's say instead of selling everything in the brand's umbrella itself, you look for the product, figure out who they are, the people who actually need the product, not everybody, as narrow as possible. The age group, the behaviors, the demographics, where they stay, everything must be down to as small as possible. That way, with a very hyper niche, you are able to keep your costs low. Number 2, cut through clutter with smart content. Social media has been abuzz with memes and parodies of virus-related content. It'll make catching attention harder than before. This is time to get creative with your content. When everybody is throwing noisy content, you throw a silent one. Figure out what is the norm and then go the opposite. For example, if everybody is trying to make their content, the videos so loud and so messy with all the colors and everything, make one with just a blank white screen and small little picture of your product at the very bottom right side. Because it's unusual, it breaks the person's zombie scrolling cycle and they're like, hey, what's this? And they pay attention to it. It can be as simple as that. Number 3, right now, timing is everything. Under normal circumstances, we will let Facebook and Instagram determine when's the best time to serve our ads to our audiences. Now, though, we think we should take control. Run an ad campaign for around 3 days to find out when engagement is the highest. So there is a trend, right? What hours and who are they? Then you can either be aggressive and focus your posting, your ads time during those higher periods. In order, let's say if you're an aggressive type, you want to fight for attention with the masses, or you can go blue ocean and place your ads during the low hours. Facebook and Instagram does not know how to taper these things off. They know how to serve you ads at times when they think the algorithm thinks that more people are paying attention and chances of them engaging will be higher. But at this time, because Facebook's algorithm does not have enough time to come up with machine learn strategy to stay away from crowds in order to keep your costs low, then we have to manually do it. Number 4, take advantage of their desires. We're all stuck at home, bored to death. It's time to take advantage of our desires. Sell travel packages to faraway places that can be redeemed anytime in the next 12 to 24 months. Promote gym memberships with reduced fees starting after the MCO. You can even sell downloadable games at reduced prices. So we are at a point where we are losing our objectivity when it comes to buying stuff. We are becoming a lot more impulsive, right? But of course, when we as brands sell to our audience, we do not try to trap them at the point when they are impulsive. We allow them the ability to use it after this thing blows over. But we can still sell it now. It helps us keep the cash flow moving, minimize the losses. Not to say we have to make money on every transaction, but we minimize the losses. So when we look at the cost benefit, right? We look at fixed cost, we look at marginal cost. So fixed cost is fixed regardless of whether you are running or not running. You still have to pay for this, like your office, your employees, and all that. Marginal cost is, let's say travel, right? Marginal cost is a cost that incurs per travel, per customer. So if you can come up with a kind of pricing package that helps taper off your fixed costs with a minimal marginal cost, come up with these packages and let your customers be able to redeem it in a longer period of time so that they don't feel as if you are trying to con their asses off, like, that way you can minimize your losses or maybe even break even, right, during these hard times. All right, so let's recap this week's Weekly Tipsy. 4 ways to advertise during the movement control order. Number 1, when competition increases, narrow your niche. Go down to a few thousand audience and you can keep your cost low. Number 2, cut through clutter with smart content. When everybody is swaying this side, you sway the other side, catch their attention, throw them off guard, then they'll be able to notice you. Number 3, right now, timing is everything. Facebook and Instagram's algorithm is machine learned, built based on the normal circumstances. These circumstances are abnormal, so you need to manually adjust your timing as well. And number 4, take advantage of their desires. Everybody's cooped up at home. They're getting very impulsive when they buy stuff. It's time to sell stuff to them, but do not try to con them. Just sell it now where they can redeem later so that you can use it to minimize your costs at this moment. All right, so that's all for Tipsy VP Podcast. Tipsy VP Podcast is part of Social Media Weekly and it's available on Anchor FM, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, and more. Our full videos are available on YouTube and we post bits and clips on Instagram and Facebook. This is Tipsy VP episode 27th March 2020. My name is Sean and happy MCOing. Au revoir.